I don't know what happened here, but all of a sudden my sources have changed, and I don't know why. Huh. We might be having some technical difficulties today, and this has nothing to do with me being a boomer. Because remember, technically, I'm a Gen Xer anyway. Even though I'm on that little borderline few years, I'm in that gray area between boomer and what's it, Gen X? But somehow this got messed up, so I'm trying to figure out why. Because it's not giving me. Oh, it's because it's not giving me two display options. What the hell is going on here? Well, let me try something real quick. We're gonna close that. We're gonna change this, and we're gonna open that back up. Let's see what happens here. Okay, now I should. Are my display things here gone? Hello, MC. Hammer time! Oh, this might be a long day, guys. Okay, you might have to just look at me all day. Is that okay? I don't know. Some of you may just want to lurk with the sound on, and because I don't want to hurt your eyes here. Doggone it. Well, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to have to delete that. Yes, and then we're going to add a new one. Let's see if this works. Where is it? Display capture. Add new source. We'll call this the desktop. And it's still not giving me two options. What the hell is going on here? Why is... All right, we're going to try a different way then. We'll do it this way. You know, you get to see the sausage being made right now. Oh my gosh. We are called the Forgotten. I didn't forget you. No. I just gotta fix my shit. This is very disappointing today. Okay, we're gonna move that. Let's do it a different way. We'll do it a different way. God darn it. Let's go we'll go window capture instead. Don't worry, we'll get it here, guys. We'll get it together. All right, we got... Let's see. Is that going to work? That gives me Google Chrome. Well, let me do this now. I am so sorry that this is turned into straight crap. Nope, it's only going to give me that. All right, we may have to do this show with me just blabbing because this shit ain't working. All right, we're going to close that, get rid of that. Yes, get rid of window capture. I have no idea why this is doing this. But anyway, so let's get into the show because I just, God dang it. It's always something. It is always something, but I'm just going to blab away today. Let me at least get my dashboard back up here. God, this is, I don't even know how to describe this day. This day is not starting well. All right, get back in there. Go back to, how do I get back to my dashboard so I know what the hell I'm watching? What a disappointment. There we go. We're in there. So here's the deal. Oh, you meant the 80 to 86. There is a name for that, isn't there? I know that. What was it? There was something someone was on Twitter, and maybe it was on Twitter or something. They were talking about how they were naming all these generations, and yeah, the forgotten generation. You guys, they left you out of there. Good morning, RVA. It was kind of weird that they completely just left out a whole generation when they were talking about these, the Gen X, Gen Y, millennials, and what do they call? What's the newest generation going to be called? Post millennial? I don't know, but I don't know. Who knows? All right, let's get into what's going on in the world today. So the reason I put the stream name that I did. Sorry, and I'm trying to work this out while I'm talking, so bear with me. I was anyway. Hotep Jesus and Uncle Hotep had Ice Bay on last night on live on YouTube. So this gal now she already had an Instagram, but it was more a private Instagram, basically for just family and her close friends. And apparently at some point she had a MySpace way back in, but pretty much she stayed off of social media. She wasn't one of those social media people. And so on the interview last night, we learned, that she went from, again, now she only follows 10 people on Twitter now. She's up to 10. But she has over 60,000 followers on Twitter. And, for the most part, people just who, a bunch of thirsty guys, but also, just people who just wanted to support her because she was getting a lot of bad, it's just a lot of bad vibe on when she first came on there. So a lot of people are just there to support her, but then there's a handful that just there to rag on her. But yeah, it's amazing that she's been able to handle that in such a short time. And then all of a sudden now she's appearing on someone's live stream and all that. So, good for her. I hope no crazies do anything stupid or help, the nice thing too is the Border Patrol, Customs and Border Patrol, have been very good about allowing her to appear online as long as she doesn't talk about her work or politics. So, most of the stuff last night, they were just kind of asking her about her. And it was kind of a cool show. So that's that. Now, the other part is why I named my stream the way I did. I stand with ... because yesterday on Twitter, which I'm not going to be able to show you this. There's got to be something here. Hang on. I'm going to see if I can try this again. Okay, so we got display capture. All right. And we want the desktop. Because I got to be able to show you Twitter trends. I mean, come on. It's only giving me that option. That really makes me mad. And that's not the one I want. I want the other one. Capture cursor doesn't matter. Anyway, so yesterday on Twitter, or the last couple of days, you must have seen things that were trending. One was I stand with Ilhan. Okay, people supporting Ilhan Omar. And then there was a competing hashtag, I stand with Trump. And as I watched these, some people were, what you would expect from each of those hashtags was exactly what you got. A lot of people complaining about all the racism from Trump and his supporters for the I stand with Ilhan Omar, and everyone having their weeping towels blotting their eyes, because Trump was so mean. And then the Trump people, basically doing their MAGA thing, which is, whatever. Both sides can have their thing. But I watched an interesting video yesterday by the Ranting Monkey that got me thinking, okay? And I don't know, maybe you've seen his video, maybe you haven't. But he made an interesting point because, see, Thomas, deport Ilhan. Yeah, I've seen that one too. He made an interesting point about something that Ilhan Omar did during an interview where she said, if a Somalian was wearing a MAGA hat, that person would not be deported, but people want me deported. And inadvertently, by making that statement, this was brilliant by the Ranting Monkey, by the way, and I'm giving him full credit for this thought, not thought, but thought. She inadvertently admits by saying that it's not about her race. Because she's saying, a Somalian in a MAGA hat wouldn't be deported. No one would be talking bad about that person. Well, then you can't say it's about race then, right? Because that person's still Somalian. That person still looks like you. That's still a person of color. Don't you ever call me a person of color. I got my reparations coffee, by the way. You know what I may do? I just may go window by window today. It's going to be challenging, and I'm going to have to do this. I'm going to have to do some magic here. But, dang it. Kind of bums me out. Like, I don't know why I'm not being able to capture this display. Anyway, I would post his video, but YouTube changed it again. You can you can share those still, but it's just, it used to be, I like the option when you like somebody's video, just automatically put it on Twitter or something for you. Damn it, why is this not working? This is very frustrating. Okay. Anyway, but yeah, so and the other thing too. So as I've been watching this thing go on and on and on and on, with the squad complaining that when he criticized them, he's criticizing women of color. Let's see. So apparently Paul Ryan is a woman of color because he criticized Paul Ryan the other day. White male. He criticizes, these are people in his own party he criticizes. He criticized Jeff Sessions, when Jeff Sessions was getting ready to step down as the attorney general, and wasn't really, mad at Jeff Sessions for not, for recusing himself from something he may not have had to recuse himself from. White male. He criticizes Adam Schiff. I didn't know Adam Schiff is a woman of color because he criticizes Adam Schiff all the time. White male. He criticizes Chuck Schumer. I did not know that Chuck Schumer was a woman of color. White male. So, again, I've been going back and forth on this thing about they should go home, blah, blah, blah. While it may be it may have seemed like a microaggression or a racist thing to say, I'm kind of changing my mind on that. Because is there anybody on the planet who criticizes the president that the president doesn't slam on Twitter or in person? Let's see. I didn't realize Jim Acosta was a woman of color. White male. So, see, Thomas, there you go. The squad, I'm reading you right here. The squad deserves nothing but criticism, mockery. Well, deportation. Now listen, I know you're being silly, Thomas. Corbin. I know you're being silly. You can't deport American citizens. Although if they do find out that Ilhan Omar committed immigration fraud, there may be some issues. Oh, wouldn't that be something? If all of a sudden, oh my God, the fallout from that, just because, if they find out that she did commit immigration fraud, and she's a member of Congress, oh my God, I could just see the whole, all shit is gonna hit the shit's gonna hit the fan. I was gonna say all hell break loose, all the shit would break loose and hit the fan. I don't know what the hell I'm trying to say, but my goodness. Oh no, what's here? Oh, Maniac Man, that's too bad, man. Dude, man, I gotta wish you good thoughts, man. I hope something good happens for you, man. I know you're going through a lot of shit right now. Hope things get better. Sorry to hear that. Okay, I gotta get into. God dang it! Why is this not working? You guys, I'm so sorry about the technical difficulties I'm having today. Maybe if I delete it from both of these. Now let's try that. Now we'll try a new one. Display capture. I'll just do that. Okay, here's what we're going to try. Give me a second here. I think I figured out what I'm going to do here. Give me 1 second, people. I am so sorry that I'm doing this while we're on, while we are live. Oh, I can't do that. I can't. That just gives you the Inception thing going there. We don't want that. Good God, what a pain in the ass this is. All right, let's try this. No video feed stutters yet. Well, that's good. I wish I could get my shit to work here. Tell you what I'm going to do is we're going to take this and I can't even refresh this. Good God. Well, it looks like the feed, at least my feed's going right. I just can't get to my back to the dashboard for some reason. Oh, here we go. We'll go to the live. Get. Oh my God. Oh, this is just one of those days, man. It's just a pain in my ass. Here, let's go. Oh, here we go. There's my dashboard. Okay, hey, I figured that part out. But we're just gonna be stuck without display today, so that's okay. Let's get into some news, though. So, apparently, now this is a sad story, and it's it's kind of indicative of what's going on. Twice deported illegal alien charged with 3 murders, 2 were children. You know, we hear a lot of talk about children lately, and about how we're separating families, and these children aren't getting back with their families, whatever. Well, here's some children who absolutely have been separated from their family. An illegal immigrant from Guatemala who's twice been deported was arrested Tuesday in connection with the murders of an Iowa woman and her 2 children. Marvin Oswaldo Escobar Orellana, 31, was arrested after he allegedly shot the family with which he lived in Des Moines, Iowa, and called 911 on himself. Orellana is the suspect in the murder of 29-year-old Rosabeth Flores Rodriguez and her 2 children. I won't tell you the children's names. According to an Associated Press report, Orellana was deported in both 2010 and 2011, convicted of illegal entry. He crossed the border around Laredo, Texas, was sentenced to 15 days in jail and ordered not to return, a command by which he did not abide, ICE spokesman Sean Niedauer confirmed with the AP. Orellana allegedly killed the family after an argument ensued in their shared home, according to the Polk County Sheriff's Office. He then dialed 911, allegedly fabricated a story about Rodriguez killing the 2 children, saying he had to kill her in self-defense, the AP reports. Investigators are uncertain about why the murders occurred, but they did not buy Orellana's story. It's just, it's very frustrating, man. It's very frustrating that there's cases like this. I mean, granted, and it's not the normal case, but we don't have any way to vet people who come into the country without us knowing they're coming into the country. And so we have no way of preventing anything like this. Now, would have it been prevented had he come illegally? I don't know. We would never know because we don't get that opportunity. So that's one story about illegal immigration. But hey, did you know? Now, where is this? There's a story that I really wanted to read because, which is fascinating. Report says Trump administration has reunited 95% of migrant children with their families or sponsors. As Democrats and their media supporters continue to claim that the Trump administration is putting kids in cages, stupid thing, despite no such outrage when President Barack Obama did the same, a new report finds that the administration has reunited nearly all of the children separated at the border. The report from Republicans on the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee looked at data produced by the Trump administration's Department of Health and Human Services and found that 95% of children who had been discharged from HHS custody has been reunified with an individual sponsor or released parents. Now, granted, this is, this is 95% of children who have been discharged from HHS custody. I don't know. That's a tough, you know what? Now that report makes it very vague on how many children are still in HHS custody. But at least the ones who are being discharged are being reunited with their families. I got to imagine that other 5% that hasn't been may not have family here. That would be my guess, especially considering a lot of these minors who have come unaccompanied or come with people who are not their family. The data provided had identified 2,648 children who were believed to have been separated at the southern border. The committee only had data from HHS on 1,619 of those children, but found that 99% had been discharged from HHS custody. Of the 1,603 discharged children, 1,546 or 95% were either reunified with an individual sponsor or released to a parent. Specifically, 1,061 children were released to a parent and 485 children were reunited with an individual sponsor, the report found. So at least the kids being discharged are being reunited with their families or their sponsors. It is important to remember why the children have been separated from their parents or whomever brought them across the border. The parents entered the U.S. illegally, which people don't seem to get, and some using children as a way to get around the laws, and they were detained. Instead of sending the children to essentially jail with adults, they are sent to a different facility. It is similar to what happens to an American child if their sole caregiver is arrested. They don't also go to jail. They are sent to a family services facility or foster family. The conditions of where the children end up may be different, and that's its own debate and issue, but the reasoning is similar. Also, the report debunked the idea that the Democratic talking point that 30 kids remain separated from their families, noting that these children remain separated largely because either the parents pose a danger to their child or the parents have expressed an intent not to reunify with their child. But because the report was produced by Republicans using data from the Trump administration, it certainly should be viewed with skepticism. But data are data, and one can't argue that. The numbers could also change if and when HHS releases data relating to the remaining 1,029 children that was not handed over to oversight Republicans. So that's what I said. You know, they got to give you the whole number. So we don't know that, but at least we know that they're getting kids back to parents for the most part when they release them. What else is going on here? We got, let's see. New York, jilted silent majority, driver's license for illegals, a bid to fire for Empire Staters. Oh, yeah, because they were going to give illegal immigrants driver's license in New York. This is, and what's this from? This is from, I don't know what CJ is. Oh, City Journal. Okay. New York's jilted silent majority. Democratic support for illegal immigrant driver's license runs counter to public opinion. Last month, New York became the 13th state to grant driver's licenses to illegal immigrants, securing a victory that liberals and open border advocates have fought for since Eliot Spitzer was governor. But Democrats should worry about how the debate unfolded in New York. A majority of the state voters opposed the bill, including about 40% of surveyed Democrats, mainly because the law will confer real benefits. Hang on. Because the law will confer real benefits on illegal residents, thus rewarding violators of the law. The question of voter fraud, dismissed as a canard by most on the left, raised alarms when Democrats tried to pass a bill that would have automatically registered all drivers to vote. So they were going to not only were they giving not only were they going to give licenses to illegal aliens or illegal immigrants or whatever you want to call them. See Thomas, be good. But they were also going to automatically register all drivers to vote. Wow. Oh, unbelievable. Though it required I see. So it required non-citizens to affirmatively opt out of voter registration. Oh my God. Right. After Republican legislators called attention to the potential consequences, the bill was scuttled. As it is, a state's driver's license is all that is required for voters' registration in New York. So the potential for abuse is there. Duh! And it's so funny. It's so they say that they don't want to have a driver's license or ID required to vote. But you need an ID to register to vote. Okay, right? It says, you need an ID to register to vote. But you don't need an ID to vote. Make sense of that. But then on top of that, they're going to give, here's the thing. Now, I guess, so they're going to give illegal immigrants driver's license. But legal immigrants can get a driver's license. They just have to get a foreign, at least like here you have to get that you're a foreign national sticker or whatever, not sticker, but something that you have to pass the test the same way anybody else does, but you just have to, because with the new chip driver's license that we got, it has to tell you whether you're a citizen of this country or not. So, man, I think that's nuts. Don't. A lot of these states are giving driver's license to illegal immigrants, and they don't. I'm sorry, if you're here legally, you should not have the benefits or privileges that you have of being here legally or a citizen. Go figure that out. Anyway, what else we got? And I apologize, Dave, for you if you're just getting here. The graphics issues, I'm having graphics issues, so I'm going to have to figure those out at another time. So I'm not going to be able to put stuff on the screen today. So you get to see my beautiful face looking at a screen over here or looking at a screen over here. I'm sorry about that. So anyway, by the way, while we're at it, just a reminder that the Morning Night Live is brought to you by you, the viewers of the Morning Night Live. Please share the video. Oop, that's over here. Share and like if you haven't done so already. We also do super chats through Streamlabs. I don't have enough subscribers yet to do YouTube super chats, but if you are so inclined and want to make sure that I point out something you said, you can do that through super chats. And we also do donations through the Streamlabs link 24/7. So there you go. All right, what else we got here? Let's see. Things in the news. Let's Civil War Democratic Senator Jon Tester to the 2020 Dems. Don't run away from Trump. Punch him in the face. Wow, that is some interesting rhetoric coming from a senator. That's violence. Isn't that violent? Aren't words violence? Jon Tester. Senator Jon Tester, Democrat, Montana, offered up some advice to Democrats vying to challenge President Donald Trump in 2020. Don't be afraid. Punch back. Tester advises the candidates the candidates on Thursday's Morning Joe on MSNBC not to take the bait of Trump's racism in his feud with the 4 progressive congresswomen known as the Squad, but said to, quote, punch him in the face. I think you don't take the bait that President Trump came out here, Tester told host Joe Scarborough. You say that what he has done is absolutely disgraceful for the country and call it for what it is, which is racism. No, he just doesn't take any crap from anybody who talks crap about him. Sometimes it's to his detriment. But I guarantee you, John Tester, when he hears that you said to punch him in the face, he's going to say something about you too. And I'm pretty sure that you are not a woman of color. But I digress. And then you talk about the things like high cost of healthcare, high cost of higher education, what you're going to do on the southern border to help stop the situation that's down there. Well, they don't want to stop the situation down there. None of those candidates want to stop that situation other than let my people go, man. Yeah, you just want to have people go willy-nilly. You just don't really care, John. You cannot convince me that you care. I just don't believe it. You know what? I'm gonna try something real quick. Let me just test one thing. Let me check out one little thing here. I want to try something that I didn't do before. Let's go here. Do test. Because his name is Tester. I don't have to do this for every damn thing, but what the hell? Here we go. Let's see. And we're gonna use. No, that's not what the hell? No. That's not what I want. Doggone it. Hang on. God. Oh, forget it. I'm just not going to do it. I'll just do it. I'll fix it by Monday. People. So anyway, that's some violent language from a Democratic senator. Who's going to condemn the violence? All right, what else is going on here? Portland and the evolution of mob rule. Who wrote this one? This is on the American Thinker. Imagine you are an alien. You've touched down upon planet Earth, and you're eager to familiarize yourself with Portland, Oregon. Why Portland? Doesn't matter. You check out Portlandia, the sketch comedy television series starring Fred Armisen and Carrie Brownstein. The show portrays a city as a bastion of liberal culture, a utopian metropolis where the woke sip soy lattes and smoke copious amounts of weed. Portland, according to the show, is a mecca for peace-loving hippies, a place where inhabitants have a Panglossian view of the world. Hey, warfare. It's not like that all the time. It's only like that when there happens to be an event. And we weren't there during an event. It was a lovely city. It was beautiful. There's lots of roses. There's, it was a nice town. It was calm. We went to some restaurants. And granted, it's one of those towns where, I kind of chuckled because we did not see any chain restaurants, for example. We didn't see an Applebee's. We didn't see anything. There are a lot of little small hole-in-the-wall restaurants. We went to one the food was fantastic, by the way. I can't remember what the name of it was, but the food was so good. And then, and there's, even the bars, you didn't see a TGI Fridays downtown. You saw a bunch of local bars. The place we went was a little microbrewery type bar that had a bunch of different, 30, 40 beers on tap. We went to this place called the Japanese Gardens. The largest Japanese garden outside of Japan is in Portland. It was a nice time. So we weren't there during one of these events. Now, had we come 2 weeks later, and had we gone to, I think it's Pioneer Park or Pioneer Plaza downtown, where this event happened, then we would have been in the middle of some bullshit. But don't think that you're going to go into a city and see what your vision of it is based on what we read about all the time on the internet. even, like for example, we go to San Francisco. I was expecting to see human feces all over the streets. Didn't see one poop on the ground. Okay. Now, could it have been there? Well, there's always people cleaning this everywhere. There's people cleaning the streets everywhere and picking up garbage and doing stuff in San Francisco. So perhaps it's because they do a good job of cleaning it up. We just didn't happen to see it. We went to San Francisco, went to, we went to the Fisherman's Wharf district, went to this district, went to that district, went up cable cars, went to, different plazas, and went to the Golden Gate Bridge, and it was just San Francisco, okay? Just like it was when I was there 30 years ago. The only thing is there's crime because our car got broken into. But you know what? It's a city. Same in Los Angeles. You expect certain things that you have this stereotype based on what you see on TV or what you see in the news. It shouldn't stop you from wanting to go see different places in the country. Our whole trip, you just have expectations based on what you got that. I've been seeing all this crap going on in Portland. You're expecting it to be, I was expecting somewhere we run into Antifa people taking over a street somewhere. Didn't happen. Anyway, the recent attack, but I'm going to continue this article. The recent attack on Andy No highlighted the power that mob groups, especially Antifa, currently hold in the city. Although the thugs who attacked the Quillette editor and photojournalist did not quite manage to crack a skull, they did manage to induce a brain hemorrhage that resulted in hospitalization. The irony here is that just before the group attacked No, its member chanted, "No hate, no fear." Obviously, Antifa group members struggle with the concept of irony. However, they don't struggle with the concept of violence. When ideologically driven people come together, armed with weapons and agendas, violence outcomes are expected. Now, another thing, I told you I watched this video the other day by the Surfs, and they're like, okay, how many deaths has Antifa caused during this protest? 0. During this protest, 0. During this protest, 0. During this protest, 0. Well, I'm sorry, if causing a death is your bar for violence, if as long as they don't, they can be violent as they want as long as they don't kill anybody. I don't know if that's a good mantra either. Anyway, Gustave Le Bon, a French polymath and influential figure in this field of social psychology, held that crowds existed in 3 stages: submergence, contagion, and suggestion. During submergence, the individuals in the crowd lose their sense of individual self and personal responsibility. This is quite heavily induced by the anonymity of the crowd. Contagion refers to the propensity for individuals in a crowd to unquestionably follow the predominant ideas and emotions of the crowd. Interestingly, in Le Bon's view, this effect is capable of spreading between submerged individuals, much like a disease. Suggestion refers to the period in which the ideas and emotions of the crowd are primarily drawn from a shared unconscious. This behavior, which arises from a sort of latent desire, is uncivilized in nature. Uncivilized in nature. Is there a better description to sum up recent events in Portland? So I'm going to say it's not Portland necessarily, but there are definitely events in Portland which fulfilled this description. And so I'm just saying, Portland itself was what we saw in Portland was really nice. We didn't have any problems. Didn't see any of the knuckleheads going at each other. By the way, good morning, Check Your Logic. Good morning, Cynical Lindsay. Nice to see you here. So you read a lot of stuff about Portland, but I remind you, if you're traveling, don't avoid Portland just because of that. If you know that there's going to be an event, or you find out there's going to be an event that may have these types of people there, well, maybe just don't go near that event. You can avoid that. But remember how big any city is. Just take any large city in the United States and imagine the square mileage of that city. You know, if someone told me I'm here in the Twin Cities and someone said, "Oh, there's a protest in, you know, near the Guthrie, a park near the Guthrie Theater," well, that's like a 3 square block area in a city that's hundreds of square miles. So, go do your thing. Go do your thing. Travel. Be happy. Anyway, moving on. What else we got here? Oh, by the way, the protests are demanding the governor of Puerto Rico to resign. Oh, take it easy, Corbin. Gotta go PD later, dude. Hey, nice seeing you. Hey, Dawg, how you doing? C. Thomas, have a great day. Protesters are demanding the governor of Puerto Rico resign. Thousands of protesters in Puerto Rico are demanding Governor Ricardo Rossello resign over corruption charges and what many believe are misogynistic private messages he shared with officials. Of course, it's not the corruption charges, but it's the misogynistic private messages he shared with officials. Protesters hurled bricks, glass, and fireworks at police Wednesday evening in Old San Juan. Police fired tear gas in response as they attempt to clear the streets. Authorities also shot rubber bullets into the crowd, which included celebrities such as Ricky Martin and award-winning actor Benicio del Toro. Oh no! You're shooting at Ricky Martin? Living la vida loca! People have lit up the street for 5 consecutive days, urging Rossello to resign in the wake of corruption charges and the leaking of private correspondence between him and close associates. The messages reportedly include misogynistic and homophobic comments. Well, that explains why Ricky Martin's there. As well as cynical comments about deaths following Hurricane Maria. Corruption in Puerto Rico. Hurricane Maria. Who'd have thunk it? Martin and the other celebrities asked participants to protest peacefully. Puerto Rico, say present without fear. Let's march in peace and remain firm and assertive, he told NBC reporters Wednesday. When Puerto Rico unites, we accomplish wonderful things and we can change the course of history. Del Toro made similar comments. Lindsay, was Ricky shaking his bonbon as he was getting bombed? Oh my gosh, they made fun of our dead, not even in the chats that I'm in with my friends. I talk about the people in my country like that. Renee Perez Yoglar said, a Grammy-winning artist told reporters in Spanish ahead of Wednesday's rally. People are angry with the things that the people in this cabinet have done. The people don't want him here. So here's the deal. There were corruption charges. They've plagued the American territory for years. Puerto Rico filed for bankruptcy in May 2017 and recently closed nearly 200 schools to save $7 million, while simultaneously issuing 107 consulting contracts since January to questionable recipients. The Daily Caller News Foundation reported in 2017. Puerto Rico spent $256 million in federal funds from 1990 to 2009, but only collected $74 billion in tax revenue. The U.S. territory is required to prioritize its payments to creditors unless the funds go to essential services. Democratic Representative Raul M. Grijalva of Arizona, chair of the House Natural Resource Committee, demanded Rossello step down Wednesday after the FBI arrested 2 of his former officials on corruption charges. Authorities charged Angel Avila Marrero, who previously served as the executive director of the island's Health Insurance Administration, and Julia Calera, former education secretary, in a 32-count federal indictment which accuses both officials of directing federal funding to contractors with political connections. And Rossello himself is not involved in the investigation. And, of course, they mentioned Trump at the end. Trump has long accused Puerto Rico's government of rampant corruption, and now officials on the island worry the indictments will give the White House more leeway to withhold funds. Well, we'll have to see, because, let's see. Trump's critics believe corruption charges and Rosella's behavior will make it more difficult for federal officials to secure funding for Puerto Rico. U.S. lawmakers managed to pass a $19 billion aid package that gave financial relief to the island and other states hit by hurricanes, earthquakes, fires, and other natural disasters. So they're going to have to get they're going to have to fix their shit. Fix your shit, Puerto Rico. Fix your shit. Dang. All right, what else we got? I have a bunch of them here. I'm going to skip that one. Goldman Sachs exec who devised Big Short donates to Booker. It's interesting because the Democrats are about to have another debate. They had to tally up they're going to have 20 candidates again. I think over 2 debates, and you're kind of get an idea who what's a good word? Just the corporate Democrats are. For example, Booker's getting a lot of money from Goldman Sachs, which you're not supposed to. The Democrats aren't supposed to take money from, the big companies and whatnot. But apparently, Goldman Sachs exec who devised Big Short donates to Booker. All right, whatever. Greenfield, how Silicon Valley orgy led to $100,000 for FOCA has been warranted. What? We don't care about Democrat fundraising. Well, speaking of Ilhan Omar, though, Josh Hammer wrote an article about Omar and why her anti-BDS laws. Okay. Hammer. Ilhan Omar is wrong. Here's why anti-BDS laws are perfectly constitutional. So she's trying to be a part of this divest from Israel crowd. This is a Daily Wire article with a slant. So the first line of this article: Jew hater extraordinaire, Representative Ilhan Omar, Democrat, Minnesota. She of Jules have a dual loyalty and support for Israel is only due to monetary interest fame, is at it again. Omar, whose membership in the 2020 Electoral Suicide Squad has launched her, along with her fellow American-hating Marxist zealots, even more firmly into the national spotlight, is opting to use that spotlight to double and triple down on her signature issue, hating Jews. That's not an inflammatory first paragraph, is it? Omar, who, when she wasn't reportedly defrauding the U.S. government, engaged in a systematic defrauding of Jewish voters in her Minnesota congressional district. By the way, if you weren't aware of this, right now her approval rating in her own district is only about 30%. That's kind of wild. You would think, based on recent events, that Omar, Ocasio-Cortez, Presley, and Rashida Tlaib, you would think those 4 people are the most popular politicians in the country. You would think that, based on all of the press focused on those 4 right now. And really, you know what? It's right now, those 4, the only reason, that's the only reason, the main reason that they're getting all this press is because they're having a high profile spat with Trump, and they are women of color. Okay? You're not seeing a whole lot of articles about Paul Ryan and what Trump said about him recently, because he's not against them and he's not a woman of color. Well, he is a woman of color based on the fact that Trump ragged on him, apparently, because Trump only rags on women of color. Whatever. Trump rags on everybody that ever dissents from him. But oh, that's weird. Oh, no wonder I can't hear that. I don't have my headphones on. but that's why. That's why. Because right now the press, I should say the mainstream press, and even it's funny because you think of Fox News as this great conservative news station, which their opinion shows are conservative and supportive of Trump. But if you just watch their news is pretty much like everybody else, and they have people who in their newsrooms who don't like Trump and are not afraid to show it. I mean, Shepard Smith certainly doesn't like Trump. Neil Cavuto is very skeptical of Trump. There's a couple of the news anchors who obviously have their skepticism of Trump at least. Their newsrooms are pretty straight and narrow. But it's weird because they still are giving all this attention to the squad. Now, in some ways for Trump, that's not a bad strategy. It's not a bad thing that they're doing that because, as I was just saying, Ilhan Omar only tops out at 30% approval rating in her own district. Okay? Ocasio-Cortez has a low, if you look at national polls on their people's thoughts on Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, she's not very well liked. So it's great for Trump and the Republicans to have these four women out in the forefront, particularly Ilhan and Cortez. Anyway, let's get back into this article. Omar, who when she wasn't reportedly defrauding the U.S. government, engaged in a systematic defrauding of Jewish voters in her Minnesota congressional district, decided to use her national platform this week to highlight just how strongly she feels about hurting, penalizing, and undermining the political and economic interests of global Jewry. As the Daily Wire has reported, Omar introduced this week a House resolution that affirms America's purported right to engage in facially anti-Semitic boycott, divestment, and sanctions. Now, I don't think of that. I can't say that the boycott, divestment, and sanctions campaign, which is also known as BDS, I can't say that it is a strictly anti-Semitic campaign. It's an anti-Israel campaign. But anyway, Muslims not liking woman who is outspoken. Imagine my shock. Well, okay, interesting that Seamus, you would think that her district is all Muslim by the way you hear in the media, but no, her district is. There are a lot of Somalis in her district because that's that part of Minnesota. It just happens to be an area of Minnesota where a lot of Somalis have refugees ended up. A lot of them live in near North Minneapolis. There's an area called Uptown that's just east of that, whatnot. But the district itself is not. I mean, it's a mixture of black, Somali, white, and also some very. There's a whole section in her district that's limousine liberals too. But Minnesota is very left-wing Democratic state. I mean, at least, especially in the Twin Cities area, especially that particular district. It's a absolute Democratic stronghold. That's the same district where we got Keith Ellison, for example. That's who she replaced, was Keith Ellison. And so, but there's also a lot of rich Jewish people in her district. The largest population or concentration of Jewish people in the state are also in that district in St. Louis Park, Minnesota. So, and I mean Orthodox Jews at least. There's a concentration of Jewish people. I said that correctly. But anyway, affirms Americans' purported right to engage in a fascist anti-Semitic boycott. Okay. That seeks the ultimate destruction of the world's only Jewish state. Omar, whose popularity among swing voters rivals that of the bubonic plague, introduced the resolution by flaunting her vile Jew hatred credentials for the world to see, hitherto unprecedentedly brazen fashion, comparing the genocidal BDS campaign, which seeks the annihilation of the state of Israel and the tossing of all the Juden into the Mediterranean, to the lineage of proud American boycotting that dates all the way back to the Boston Tea Party itself. Yeah, listen to this. And you're only going to be, I think you'll be able to hear it. Hopefully well, let me know if you can hear this. I'm going to listen to it myself. I got to put my buds back in here. Here's how she defended the BDS movement.
But as in all diplomacy, truly pursuing peace isn't just about punishing bad behavior. We must support efforts to end the occupation and achieve two-state solution. I believe firmly that the path to peace does not lie in a violent means. As Martin Luther King Jr. said, peace is not merely a distant goal that we seek, but a means by which we arrive at that goal. We should condemn in the strongest terms violence that perpetuates the occupation, whether it is perpetuated by Israel, Hamas, or individuals. But if we are going to condemn violent means of resisting the occupation, we cannot also condemn nonviolent means. We cannot simultaneously say we want peace, then openly oppose peaceful means to hold our allies accountable. It is precisely when people feel hopeful, when people feel that nonviolence does not work, that their voices won't be heard, that they turn towards violence. This week, I introduced a resolution with civil rights leader, our colleague, John Lewis, and Rashida Tlaib.
Fascinating that she's tying herself to John Lewis, who is an icon in the civil rights movement. Now, John Lewis, despite the fact that he's an icon in the civil rights movement, that doesn't make him right on contemporary issues. But she's tying her wagon to him.
Who know the importance of nonviolence movements. It recognizes the proud history of boycott movements in this country dating back to the Boston Tea Party. We should honor these movements and that history. And we should honor our commitment to the principles that say we must hold our friends to the same standards.
Yeah, I'm sorry. The BDS movement is not the Boston Tea Party. But anyway, Omar's resolution furthermore directly compares the free, liberalized, pluralistic state of Israel to genocidal Nazi Germany, the Gulag state that was the Soviet Union, and the apartheid state South Africa. There are truly no words to describe this monstrous level of moral obtuseness, this unfathomable level of sheer stupidity. If I were a voter in the Minnesota 5th Congressional District who helped send such a contemptible and benighted ignoramus to the United States Congress, I'd hide my head in a bag for years. So this guy's very hyperbolic, but I'd go on. Anyway, but her resolution, if taken at face value, does not actually offer direct substantive support for BDS. Rather, the resolution amounts to procedural and legal affirmation of purported constitutional right to engage in BDS. Here's the direct text. Let's see here. Let's see. About the end. Resolved that the House of Representatives affirms that all Americans have the right to participate in boycotts in pursuit of civil and human rights at home and abroad as protected by the First Amendment to the Constitution. 2, opposes unconstitutional legislative efforts to limit the use of boycotts to further civil rights at home and abroad, and urges Congress, states, and civil rights leaders from all communities to endeavor to preserve the freedom of advocacy for all by opposing anti-boycott resolutions and legislation. But is the anti-Semitic BDS movement actually constitutionally secured by the First Amendment? The short answer is no, not really. As a law professor and constitutional law expert, Eugene Kontrevich explains in the Washington Post in 2017, it is the distinction between expression and commercial conduct that makes all the constitutional difference in the world. Or as David French helpfully framed it at National Review today, institutional discrimination that is targeted in its bigotry against Israelis due merely to national origin is statutorily illegal under the 1977 Export Administration Act and is no way constitutionally protected by the First Amendment. That's okay. So that's a bunch of gobbledygook to me. But there are precedents that's saying that, you know, the government doesn't have to boycott another country. And you can, let's see. In fact, the U.S. Supreme Court unanimously held in Rumsfeld versus Fair that institutional entities' refusal to do business based on national origin is not an inherently expressive activity that is protected under the First Amendment. That's interesting. As Kontrovich aptly phrased it, it is only the boycotter's explanation of the action that sends a message, not the actual business conduct. Those expressions of views are protected, but they do not immunize the underlying economic conduct from the regulation. Okay, so more gobbledygook, but that's interesting. I would have to look that more. Anyway, shoot. You know what, guys? I'm running out of time, so let's at least check out what's trending on Twitter, and then we'll get out of here. And again, I apologize for the technical difficulties I'm having today. I'll have to figure those out. This is kind of a messed up deal today. So, real quick, so on Twitter trends today. By the way, anyone out there watch the trailer for the new Cats movie? It has, now first of all, Cats as a Broadway play was a really cool thing. I saw Cats, a traveling company of cats. It was a cool play because you have people on stage. You know, they're dressed like cats. It had an interesting story. And it was basically just a story on the different kinds of cats. And it's kind of, you know, kind of cool if you know anything about cats. I'm not really a cat person, but the musical itself, very interesting. But it's not one of those movies that I think translates well to the movie theater. And the trailer, what the hell is that? The trailer just looks weird. Instead of doing costumes, I mean, they did costumes on these people, but they did kind of this weird CGI effect to everything. Oh no! Did you just go look? It had this weird CGI thing going on, and instead of just doing costumes like they did in the theater, which was, the costumes were amazing in the theater, and they tried to make them almost look like, I don't know, they're trying to CGI them, so they made them more look like real cats, but they still had the human bodies and whatnot. It was terrible. It's an ugly looking thing. It's terrible. It's just it looks terrible. And you know, and like I said, it's not one of those musicals that translates well to the big screen. I'm sorry, it's just not. The phenomenon of Cats as a Broadway production is what makes it interesting. There are some, you know, obviously there's some Broadway musicals that did well on the screen. Like, for example, the adaptation of West Side Story to the screen, fantastic. Okay? Because it's about real people. Or not real people, but, you know, it's a, whatever, live action people, whatever. It was just weird. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into real quick Twitter trends today. Number one, Tyreek Hill. Trending with Josh Gordon and Tyreek Hill. NFL will not discipline Tyreek Hill, who was accused of assaulting his son. Yeah, you know what? Because the video, oh my gosh. Well, they shouldn't, because the video that they used part of a video, and he clearly did not assault his son. Fascinating. Following a month-long investigation, and why is the NFL? I don't know why the NFL is investigating this anyway. Let the authorities investigate it and let the chips fall where they may. And then the NFL can make their decision based on what the authorities do, not by what the NFL. I mean, why is the NFL investigating this? I don't get it. I think that any domestic violence committed by an NFL player should be investigated by authorities. Following a months-long investigation, the NFL has decided not to suspend the Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver, stating, based on the evidence presently available, the NFL cannot conclude that Mr. Hill violated the personal conduct policy. Hill was accused of physically abusing his 3-year-old son. The league could not find evidence he did, but they're going to leave the case open if further evidence emerges. Well, there is no evidence. That is one case where they got it wrong based on a snip in time that did not reflect the reality of what was happening. Hey, Johnny Hellcat, what's up? All right, enough about Tyreek Hill. Number 2, trending Friday thoughts. Let's see. At the top of my Friday thoughts is, truth be told, all leftists are liars. All of them. Oh, my goodness. Okay, let's find one. But Brooklyn Dad, defiant. Why is it such a big deal that the President of the United States is a racist? Ooh, because the darkest years of our nation saw slavery, lynchings, segregation, and this racist president keeps dragging us in the wrong direction? We must never stop fighting. Friday thoughts. Wait a minute. So he's dragging us in the direction of slavery, lynchings, and segregation? Is that what the president is doing? Hyperbolabunsha? I'm sorry. I'm this close, people. I'm this close. This close to deleting my Twitter. But I can't. There's no way I'm deleting Twitter. It's too fucking entertaining. I'm sorry. It just is. All right. Let's find a good Friday thought real quick. There's got to be a good one here. Oh my gosh. I wish I could show you stuff, but I can't. Maybe I can. Let's try it. Let's see if I can put Twitter. Will this work? Let's go. We'll add a plus. Browser source. Tweet. Maybe I can do this. And well, that did nothing. That doesn't work. God dang it. I'm gonna have to just anyway, forget it. Anyway, let's find one good Friday thought. I'm just laughing because one of these American canon should put Trump on the moon by 2020. That would be a gigantic step for mankind. That's not nice. Come on. Sometimes, you know what? Normally the left can't meme. I'm sorry, they just can't. They're just terrible at it. But that one was actually humorous. If you have a sense of humor, even if you don't agree with it, it's kind of humorous, truly. Forget Friday thoughts. Let's move on. Is there anything else happening in the world? Songwoo? That's got to be something to have to do with K-pop bands. 2.5 years of missing Songwoo, calling us Alice. Okay, I don't know who Songwoo is. Okay, I don't. Something has. I don't know. It has something. Korea trends often on Twitter in the mornings. I don't know why. Some things that have to do with Korea. Yuven, Wusek, these are all Korean names. Oh, GOP communist? Interesting. I don't know why GOP communist is trending, and I'm afraid to look. Trump gave billions of dollars to failing farms due to his tariff policy while cutting food stamps for hungry children. GOP communists. News about the farm bill, commentary, archival information. Republicans don't know the difference between the words socialist and communist. They use the words interchangeably as if they're the same, but the intent is to smear Democrats, nothing else. I'm sick of their nonsense. Retweet of you are too GOP communists. You know what? Um, I just don't. And this Brooklyn Dad Defiant, he loves to tweet about Trump, but he's got one here too. And this is all bullshit. But I'll read it in a minute. Apparently the social democrats don't know what socialism is either. And the people who defend socialism, the kids who all poll to love socialism, don't know what socialism is either. So let's not the pot be calling the kettle black, people. So this guy, Brooklyn Dad Defiant, all I know is Trump begged Russia for help in 2016. False. Bunch of GOP senators spent last July 4th in Russia. Okay. As Putin's puppet, Trump sided with Russia against U.S. in Helsinki. No, he did not. Trump loves dictators like Putin and Kim Jong-un. No, he's negotiating with them, though. He's be diplomatic with the people, your adversaries, to gain favor, and get your allies to step in line. That's his style. Now, it's not every president's style, but that's his style. Apparently, and you know what? For every nice thing he said about Russia or Putin, he's kind of screwed them over policy-wise. And Kim Jong-un is beginning to step in line. Okay, the South Koreans are very happy with Trump's relationship with Kim Jong-un because they're having peace talks because of Trump having a relationship with Kim Jong-un. Just because we have tribal loyalists in this country who can't give Trump credit for anything doesn't mean that he's not doing the right things in some cases. Okay, got it? Good. Goodell is trending. Roger Goodell. Why is he trending? Because, live look at Roger Goodell investigating domestic abuse cases. See, they're going to be pissed at Robert Goodell. See, some people think that Tyreek Hill did beat his child. I don't think there's any evidence of that, though. Tyreek Hill beats the shit out of girlfriend and kid. Roger Goodell, meh. Josh Gordon smokes weed. Roger Goodell ready to bust the door down. Whatever. There is no, again, John Gruden, how come you didn't suspend Tyreek Hill? Goodell.
New youthful sport. He's not breaking any rules, and until he does...
But he's a disgrace to the game!
You may be right, but our ratings are up, and we're attracting new youthful sponsors.
Okay, that's...
Sorry, Shooter.
So that's actually a clip from Happy Gilmore. So some people are pissed at Roger Goodell. You know what? Let's find out. I don't know. Here's a good video of Roger Goodell getting booed because F Tyreek Hill. I'm curious. Maybe I'm thinking of a different case. Maybe I'm thinking of a different case. Maybe there is. I'm going to have to go into this. I thought the case of Tyreek Hill, though, I thought there was no evidence that he did this, and that's for the authorities to do. I'm sorry, it's not the NFL is not a legal investigatory agency. They're a private company. If they think that there's something to the case of Tyreek Hill and domestic abuse, then they need to get the police involved. Period. MNNet, I don't know what that is. True leaders who got robbed by Minnet and ended a curse. Okay, that has something to do with K-pop. Sorry. Nope, not doing it. The Gift album. Brown Skin Girl, Lion King ripped. Blue Ivy's vocals steal the show on Brown Skin Girl along with Wiz Kid. Okay, apparently that has something to do with Beyonce, and I'm sorry. I know this is sacrilege. I know this is sacrilege, I could care less about Beyonce. I don't know that I could care less. I really just don't. Okay, Dan Le Batard, an ESPN host, tears into Trump. Just like I want to hear my sports channels is talking about politics, ESPN host Dan Le Batard tore into President Trump in the wake of "Send her back" chant. Okay. Shut that. That erupted from the audience at a recent campaign rally in an attack on Representative Ilhan Omar, while also blasting his own network for its cowardly policy limiting on-air personalities from engaging in political discussions. Because you're a sports channel, you moron! You can do it on your own time. You can go on someone's show that's on a political channel and go have your discussion there. Okay? It's a sports channel. And you know what? I want it. If you have something important to say, I want you to say it, sir. But sports channel, do it. Go be a guest on someone else's show. Go be yourself. Now, he said what happened last night, this felt un-American. Le Batard, whose parents are from Cuba, said on his radio show Thursday. All right, so, and then there's lots of people pointing to have him go to that show. And he's the dude, he has that show. What is the show they have? I don't know. He and his dad and another guy talk about sports, whatever. It's a good show. I like his show. But, again, if you do it on your own radio show or do it on someone else's show. Period. Minhee, Jungmoo, more Korean pop stars. Last Chance U. I'm pulling up in front of my TV when new Last Chance U dropped Friday night. I don't know what that is. Is that Last Chance U. Indie Part 2. I don't know what that is. It's some series on TV. Take a look at the stars of Last Chance. Oh, when they were in high school. That's that. I think it's a junior college. They have a series, a junior college football team. They call it Last Chance U, where these guys go and try to get their chance to play college football or whatnot. I've seen a couple episodes of it. It's a pretty good show. All right. Beyond that, Stuart Scott's trending too. I don't want to click it. Y'all know who Stuart Scott is? They're just remembering his speech he made. When you die, that does not mean you lose to cancer. You beat cancer by how you live, why you live, and in the manner in which you live. In honor of tonight's awards show, we remember Stuart Scott's unforgettable speech at the 2014 ESPYs. Stuart Scott. Kawhi Leonard, who are you? Kawhi Leonard. On his birthday, we look back at the late great Stuart Scott calling the highlights of Michael Jordan's flu game. That was an amazing call. I'd play that, but again, I don't have my screen going up today. So there you go. Anyway, guys, I'm really sorry about the technical difficulties today. Just one of those things where I have little glitches that here and there, so I couldn't show my other screen for some reason. So we'll fix that by Monday. Hey, y'all! A couple things. One, have a good weekend. It is Friday. If you have any great plans for the weekend, my plans this weekend are pretty much to just get my lawn mowed. And we were trying to open the pool, and I figured out the guys who put siding our house messed up all our pool equipment, so I have to fix all that stuff now. We didn't open the pool before this. We were opening it late because we were on vacation most of June. So hopefully I can get that up and running by the end of the weekend. Also, what else I got going on? What do you guys got going on? I don't know. It's one of those weekends, it's past the 4th of July. The summer's starting to wind down. You just got to start thinking about, oh my gosh, it's middle of July. It's almost the end of July. You got to start thinking, if you got kids, they got to start thinking about school shopping in August, or start thinking if you're young, if you're going to college, about moving. it's just that time of year. But the nice thing is, usually these weekends during this time, either people are going on vacations or they just don't have plans every weekend. Pretty much the planned weekends always happen early in the summer. And then later in the summer, you got a lot more weekends where you just go, can we chill? Maybe we can go hang out at the lake or go to a park or something. So do something interesting this weekend. I know besides mowing my lawn, we might go hang out at one of our local lakes, maybe do some fishing or something. I haven't done any fishing in about 5 years. I live in Minnesota and I don't fish, but I might do some fishing this weekend. Who knows? But anyway, I hope you all have a great day. I'll be back on Monday because I'm here Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central, 2 p.m. GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, for those people in other parts of the world. And I hope you all have a great weekend. If you haven't done so already, that share arrow is still right down here. The like button, if you haven't hit the like button, hit that on the way out. And if you're so inclined, we do donations and super chats through Streamlabs. That link is in the description down below. I got to thank you for being here. Monday, we will be back. If you have anything to send me, articles or suggestions for topics, you can do that right here. My Twitter account is, the DMs are open. That is at Dawg Knight. Also, my email, if you don't use Twitter, you can send me emails. Just put the ad on the other end. And it's pdawgknight@gmail.com. So thank you all again. I'll see you on Monday. I am Dawg Knight. And I am out of here.